Hey, what's up YouTube? Video here. Welcome to our brand new series named Halo 5 Retrospect, in which we'll delve into what made Halo 5 great and not so great. I think it's really good to talk about it at this exact time because we're just about a year ahead of Infinite launching, and I think if we can gather some good feedback, some good ideas, 343 will be able to put them to good use. I think it's good to have this conversation going and like can it kind of get the ball rolling a little bit ahead of time, because we obviously don't want to like get to Infinite's launch and like this thing is not right, there's a repeated mistake here. We just want to like get everything out there and hope for the best from here. That's really all we can do. But I think it'll be good to talk about it, and I really encourage you guys as well to drop in a comment section, share your ideas, whatever, just talk about if you agree, disagree. Obviously keep it civil as much as possible, but you guys get where I'm coming from. So let's jump right in. Now I want to preface this by saying there's going to be so many different topics to cover, and one of the big ones is going to be Spartan abilities. Obviously Spartan abilities is like, there's so much to talk about. I don't want to just make it in one video. I'll probably just break it down to per ability, if that makes sense. And there's probably so much more to talk about. Like, I don't know, we can just think about unlockables, weapons in the game, sandbox updates, game types. There's so much to go over. But for this one, we're going to start off simple, and we're going to talk about weapon pads. So if you guys don't know what weapon pads are for some reason, they're quite literally what the name says. They're a pad with a weapon on it. And what's interesting about the weapon pads is that they kind of allow you to know exactly when a power weapon is about to respawn, know where it respawns, and just kind of prepare yourself ahead of time. So you get this indicator on the map no matter where you're at, with a little green icon on top that says whatever the weapon type is. And on top of that, the announcer broadcasts it ahead of time. So when it's like 30 seconds before the sniper respawns, you'll hear the sniper's up in 30 seconds or whatever he says. Honestly, I've heard it so many times, I don't even remember what he says.
Sniper's up!
So there's some upsides, there's some downsides. It's useful for noobs. Some people might just not know the maps. They're just new to the game. It just gives you like a sense of purpose, right? So let's pretend I'm a new player. I've never played this game. I don't know what's happening. I'm just walking around aimlessly. But I see this icon on my map. I see, oh, what is this? A sniper rifle. Oh, okay, let me make my way over there. So as a noob, it gives me a sense of direction, which is great. It also kind of like focuses people to fight around a certain area of the map, which otherwise might not see a lot of action, which is good. So we got two positives out of that. It helps noobs. It helps create some sort of flow on the map. On top of that, it makes power weapons more visible. You can easily see them. Even if the indicator wasn't there, you can kind of see them float around, and that stands out. Also in this game, you do have the blue outline, which helps you see them a lot more. It is worth noting that Halo games did not always have weapon pads. Back in Halo 3, the power weapons were just like sitting on the floor, kind of like a, let's say, look at a star rifle right here. Power weapons were like this in Halo 3, 2, and 1. Even in Reach, if I remember correctly. So you just had to find them and kind of learn the maps, which is, that's a skill gap in a sense. You just have to learn the maps, you have to learn when they respawn, and that adds to the game. However, some might argue that it creates too much of an advantage for veteran players, which, already have the advantage of being good at the game and being able to hit their shots better. So, it's kind of like a double advantage, but I do think it's a skill gap, and I think, like, coming from an arena shooter background, it makes a lot of sense to kind of, like, have to learn this stuff. If you play Quake or any of those games, they do not hold your hand when it comes to that stuff. You have to learn the maps. There's some positives, but it also hurts the skill gap, so it's kind of like give or take. But what's a big downside about weapon pads is that, as you can tell, you can see them through the wall. And the icon stays up until someone picks up the ammo. So if I just go and pick it up real quick. So if I go pick up the ammo, I already have a sniper, unfortunately, so I'll just grab the ammo. You'll notice that the icon disappears. Oh, well, it stayed there because my sniper's too full. But the icon's gone now. That means the weapon pad has been quote-unquote deactivated. That has a bit of a downside because that gives people free intel. So I could literally not be looking at a sniper. I could be like anywhere on the map. Actually, I went and recorded a clip just to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So essentially, as long as you can see the icon on your HUD, you can tell that someone's picking up the power weapon, and that gives you like a bit of free intel, which I'm kind of against that. I'm not a really big fan of having intel you don't deserve. I think you should run around the map and look in places if you want to know what's going on, rather than just hear it across the map or see it across the map. Yeah, that's definitely a big downside. That's a big issue I have with the weapon pads. I think it can easily be fixed with a solution I'll show in a couple seconds. Overall, I think weapon pads have more upsides than downsides. They offer a better flow. They do a lot of good for the game. They allow noobs to have a better chance. Having said that, like, even if a noob knows that sniper rifle is coming up, that doesn't mean they're gonna beat a better player at getting it. And if a good player is there to contest it, then the good player is going to get every time. So it really doesn't make a big difference at the end of the day when you actually think about it. Even for competitive, sometimes it's a reminder, which is good for not always needing a coach. Not all teams have coaches ready to like help in tournaments. So I think there's some positives to it, but really the biggest issue about weapon pads is how you can see the indicator through the wall. And you know, it makes sense because if you couldn't see the indicator through the wall, it would just remove the flow aspect to it. People wouldn't know where to go on the map. It really, you know, you would lose some benefits for sure. But how can we improve that? And this is where I really want this series to shine. So in my opinion, a simple fix, like I showed you, you should be able to tell that the weapon's about to come up. There should be the broadcast. That's okay. There's no problem with that. But once the weapon respawn, regardless of if the power weapon is picked up or not, the indicator should stay for a few seconds and eventually fade away. That way you wouldn't be able to tell if someone picked it up. It wouldn't give you free intel, but it would encourage noobs to like kind of move around the map and be on top of those power weapons. It wouldn't tell you, oh, there's a guy there who just picked up the sniper rifle. Be aware of him. So, you know, it wouldn't give you free intel, but it would still allow people to learn the game faster and learn how to play faster and just, like, help lower skill players move around the map better, be more aware of what's happening. So I just think the indicator should stay when the weapon's about to come up, but as soon as it comes up, it should start fading away, or after they announce it. Sniper rifle's up, whatever. Give it 5 seconds maybe, and then the account fades away. Having said that, I don't think weapon pads need to be a thing in the game, but I would say that if weapon pads were to stay moving forward, that's how 343 should handle it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I know we started off with kind of a simple one for this video, for the first retrospect video, but that's kind of where I want to take it. Except next time I'll be thinking about different abilities, you know, you just let me know what you want me to talk about. But I already have like a little plan figured out. So yeah, let me know if you guys like this. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree. If you have any comments, hit up the comment section. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Peace.